Public service announcement. Complaining is not leading. Fussing is not leadership. Just looking at what your staff does wrong and telling them over and over again how it's not working and you don't like it, and finding all the things that don't align with what you want in your business, that's not leadership. That's not how we get to our goals. Yet I see a lot of small business owners who focus on that method, who that's what they do time and time again, and they destroy the culture oftentimes before they even build the culture in the business. I'm guilty of it myself. I'm a technician. I grew up in a family business, and in some ways I witnessed some of that growing up, where it's this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong. It's just a complete collection of the things that person did wrong. But that's not how we develop people. And you see, here's the problem. A lot of small business owners will reply and say, yeah, but I didn't sign up to develop people. I hate to tell you this, but there is not a substantial number of folks in the workplace right now that meet the standards that I have for my business. And so that means that I have to develop my people as I go. Now, look, there's a lot of different ways to lead. There's a lot of different ways to develop people. I guess what I'm telling you is you can't go into your business, you can't go into the back if you own a repair shop and scream at your guys and say, you broke this, I can't believe you broke this, this is a real problem, and if you keep doing this, I'm gonna fire you. Because this newest generation of worker will walk out the door and never come back. They don't have to have you. Right? Especially in the technical space, in the automotive space, there are absolutely thousands of jobs all over the country. They do not need you. And so maybe, just maybe, hear me out now, we could try respect. We could try communication. You know, today, a leader in the other business said, hey, I know we've got something going on with an employee, and I'm going to reach out and talk to him. We had just been through some leadership training. We had just been talking about how do we handle this type of situation? How do we coach through this? And he went and he implemented a new skill. And that employee came back to him and said, you know something? I can't ever remember another leader or manager that I've ever worked for telling me what I did wrong before they got mad at me for doing it wrong. You see, we're missing the bar if we do that. We're missing the mark if we're not focused on developing our people. And one of the reasons that this stands out to me is because I don't know about you guys, but I don't go around every single day and thinking, hey, I want to disappoint the people that I'm around. I want to disappoint my coworkers. I want to disappoint my employer. I want to disappoint my friends, right? That's not what we do as human beings. And I don't understand why we seem to think that that's what other people are doing. Why do we get so mad? Why do we get so angry about it? It's just not logical. It doesn't make sense that you would get mad about it. It makes sense that you would go back and you would coach through it. Hey, Bob, help me understand what happened here. You know, I've talked about the other businesses coach from time to time, and he talks about a guy that didn't take out the trash. Now, they had set the standard. They had said you need to take out the trash every night that you work. First night he didn't take out the trash. The coach says, he's a nice guy, I'm just not going to worry about it right now. I'm sure it was just a mistake. The second time he didn't take out the trash, the coach says, gosh, man, what's up with this kid? And he goes out to talk to him, opens the door and realizes, oh man, he ain't at work today. Third day, he forgets to take out the trash. He's really mad now, slings the door open, realizes the business is slap full of people, and says, shoot, I can't do anything about it right now. And on the fourth day he didn't take out the trash, he runs in and says, what the heck are you doing? Now at that point, the kid had no clue that anything was wrong. It came by complete surprise that something was up. So what did he do instead? What's his recommendation for handling that? It's go and ask, hey, what are we supposed to do with the trash every day? And if they explain it correctly, that's the only case where you can look at them and say, hey man, you're not hitting the mark. Can you help me understand why? In the other two cases, what's the response? response one? Well, response one is, I don't know what we're supposed to do with the trash. Whose fault's that? That's mine. Why is it my fault? Because I didn't train properly. Response two is a partial correct answer. And that's where they know they're supposed to take the trash out, but maybe they leave it at the front door. Maybe they don't put it all the way in the dumpster. And there again, that's on us. Now listen, here's the thing, and this is where I see business owners get it wrong, is the first interaction, they don't take a chance to reset the standard. Now, I'm guilty of doing that. I've done it in my business here recently, and I've known that I'm not hitting marks in certain areas, but I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm letting things slide. I'm not dealing with problems that I know I've got, and they've kind of blown up in my face a little bit. And so what did I have to do today? I had to reset the standard. I had to bring us back to ground zero and say, here's what I expect. And so the most important thing you can do as a leader is set the standard. And if the standard is not met, then we ask, do you know what the standard is? After that, then we go into the corrective action measures, right? For me, it's a verbal warning. We keep a Google Drive file of every employee, and it has Excel spreadsheets and Word documents and anything relating to that staff member. And we go in and we say, hey, they received a verbal warning. Here's what I said. Here's what it was over. Here's the date. Here's the time. And it is clearly documented in my handbook, 1 verbal and 3 written. At that 3rd written, that's a termination notice. And so, Rick White was my first business coach, and I'll never forget. It should be common sense. I guess I just don't have much common sense. But he said, hey, Lucas, no one should ever be surprised that they are getting fired. Sorry, camera in the wrong place. And I thought that was a pretty powerful statement, because it's something that we do all the time as we go out and we get frustrated, and we don't let them know we're frustrated until we're ready to fire them. So you guys set the standard early, document the standard, make sure they know the standard, coach to the standard, train to the standard. And then if they don't hit the standard, you can get mad, you can get frustrated, and you can terminate them with a proper corrective action plan. That's my thoughts for the day. You guys have a good one.